Hello, precious people. You're welcome to the platform with Dr. Ivy. Today, I'd like to talk about a series which I have captioned Arrows in the Hands of the Mighty. As arrows in the hands of the mighty. It's going to be a little exposition on parenting. I'm going to take my bearing from the book of Psalm 127. We look at verses 1, verse 3, verse 4, and verse 5. In verse 3, the Bible makes us understand that children are the heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. In verse 4, it says, as arrows in the hand of the mighty, so are the children of the youth. Say that they will contend with the enemy at the gate. Children are likened to arrows, as arrows in the hands of the mighty. That's a simile. They are being likened to arrows in the hand of a mighty man. An arrow is a projectile tool that is fashioned by skilled hands and aimed at a target. The target can be a prey. It can be a human being in battlefield, or it could be the bullseye in archery. Remember the sports called archery. An archer aims at the bullseye, hits it right there at the center or around the bullseye. Any arrow shot outside the bullseye is not accepted. So, for children, the Bible has likened them as arrows. In that Psalm 127 in verse 1, the Bible says there, except the Lord builds a house, the laborer worketh but in vain. Except the Lord watcheth over the city, the watchman watcheth but in vain. I saw a translation that resonated so well within me. He said, except the Lord builds the house, the laborers build shacks. S-H-A-C-K-S. A shack is a makeshift accommodation. It's a temporary shelter that can crumble under the effects of the element. It does not last. It's not durable. It does not endure. Same way, if you don't invest in your children, if you don't train them, if you don't groom them, you might see that those children will never hit the right target that they were designed by God. Or you see them bringing shame and disgrace to you. God forbid. So today I'm looking at what it takes to fashion an arrow, how you can aim the arrow at the right target, and I also look at our parenting styles. Oftentimes when I look at children, there's a direct or an indirect reflection of the investment that parents have made into them, either in parenting as in home training, or even in academics, or even in finances, how you invest into them, even in their diet, the nutrition that your children thrive on or live on. Children are a reflection of all these investments into them. So as for arrows, the arrows, from the little study I had, arrows are made from different materials, different stuffs. They are wooden arrows. They are also carbon arrows. They are fiberglass arrows, and they are arrows made from aluminium. Depending on the purpose the arrows are being fashioned for, that's what will determine the material you will make the arrow from, or you fashion the arrow for. Likewise, in the real life setting, in child training, the extent to which you want your child to go will also be dependent on your investment in that child. If your child is going to make it in marriage, your investment in the child will tell. If the target is in academics, your investment will tell. If it's in ministry, your investment will tell. Therefore, we need to be intentional in our parenting roles. We need to be intentional in raising our children, and the quality of things we expose them to, or the investments we make inside our children. We need to be conscious and intentional. It was John Locke that said that children come with tabula rasa mind. That means they come like empty slates, and the parents and relations and the society begins to write things on the slate. That's John Locke. That's his own ideology. That's his own theory. While Jean Piaget, in his own view, he theorized that we are born and we begin to store up information, even in shapes or thoughts or alphabets and things like that. We begin to store up information in schemas. When we have a schema is just a framework upon which ideas are built, images are formed. So, for instance, when I look at a goat, and I've seen a goat before, I have a schema of a goat in my brain. And by the time I see an animal that is a goat, I realize that that's a goat, and that I formed that as schema. We need to be very intentional in our parenting and raising of our children. All right, so this is just a preamble of my teaching. I'm going to be looking at part 2 of this and different aspects of it. I'll look at how to fashion the arrows, how to make your hands skilled, and also your parenting styles. Remember that most times people enter into marriage without even having thorough training on how to raise their children. Someone said, you don't become a mother or a father or a parent by merely having children. You become a daddy or a mom or a parent by the quality of output you have from your children. You raise them and mold their character. So if you've entered into marriage and without a prior knowledge about what it takes to have children, you may need to listen to this video. There are quite a lot of things you'll learn or unlearn so that you'll be able to raise your children appropriately and make the most of their children. This is the first time of watching my video. I'd like you to hit the like button, drop a comment to give me a feedback. You need to share my video and also subscribe. So whenever I put up subsequent videos, you'll be the first to learn of it. God bless you. Till my next video, I'd like you to stay safe, healthy, successful, and rapturable.